come to terms with this crisis by just sort of snapshots on the present. I think we've got to really take stock of this 30 years, this historical process that we've all been part of and engaged with and so on.
Which I think he's trying to start doing in your book.
Yes, and you know, we have a lot of commentary about the South African crisis, so it's either reduced to, well, big man Zuma, crisis of criminalized ANC politics, etc. I mean, all of these factors are definitely feeding into the South African crisis, but they are not adequate and sufficient to explain this crisis. And so what I do in this book is look back at this 30 years and use a kind of method of thinking, I'll use the philosophical term, dialectical thinking, looking at the whole, okay, looking at the different relations that have shaped post-apartheid South Africa. Accumulation and, if you like, economic policy choices and how that impacted on class, race, gender, ecology. Looking at state formation post-apartheid South Africa. Looking at international relations. Looking at the historical bloc, the National Liberation Bloc and its unraveling. And of course the left response. And I think we are at a critical moment. We are in a second transition in our democracy. We are leaving behind one-party dominance. And you know, for me, sadly, coming out of the ANC, and I'm not there anymore, it had everything on the plate. It could have done so much. And I think we've got to explain that. And my view in this book is I use a concept called the passive revolution from an Italian social thinker, Marxist, called Antonio Gramsci, to look at this long defeat of the aspirations of the people, the defeat of left alternatives and so on. And I think without this kind of deep introspection, the second transition is not going to be informed by lessons. And we have to learn critical lessons if we want to go forward.
Gramsci was in prison.
Yeah, in 1926. In 1926 by a fascist.
I just want to mention in my book, one